All right, finally, Iron Man.
Finally, talking about Iron Man. Initial thought.
Right, initial
Thought it was really good. I mean, for Marvel's first movie, they really came through.
This might be my favorite Marvel movie.
You know, and they kind of proved it because in the opening, in the credits, you know, it said it was the Marvel intro, and then it went Marvel Studios. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, Marvel's presence.
So they're now their own entertainment.
Yeah, their own studio
thing,
now.
and I know this movie is going to be a huge success.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's been called the best reviewed movie of 2008.
Yeah, I mean, initial thoughts for me was it was absolutely excellent, a must-see movie, amazing way to start the summer season, and a great way to open up the new studio.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is kind of like their flagship movie now.
It's pretty much all the movie industry's flagship. They're begging for some actual, sales, actual ratings, and all that. And I think that Iron Man's gonna be the first big one in a while, because you hear from everybody. You're asked like, do you want to go to the movies? But there's never anything to see.
Yeah.
So now finally there's something.
Just because there's just so much crap.
There's just so much crap and filler. It feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like there's like, you have Christmas time and you have summer, and all the movies in between are just like crap filler.
Yeah.
Crap filler.
It's a ghost land.
Oh, it's terrible. So now finally we can get into the summer movie season.
Yeah.
And hit it off right. All right, that was the initial thought. I don't want to give too much away initial thoughts. Let's go with.
I think it had like the old-fashioned movie making. But anyway, you know where I'm getting at, right? Like, I mean, it used the best of both CGI and physical effects. Like, I really liked seeing the actual suits in Robert Downey Jr. in the suit.
Okay, well, let's do this in segments here.
Well,
let's start with. No. CGI is a good place to start because that was a major concern.
Well, I had very few notes because the movie was really good.
So let's do CGI, acting, story, and then what do we call that when
we got
speculation.
Speculation, yeah.
All right,
and a rating. So.
And then rating. All right.
Yeah.
Let's start with the CGI section. Go ahead, Nick. What were you saying?
The effects were really good, especially the flight sequence and the end battle.
Yeah. Oh, the end battle was excellent.
The Ironmonger was.
CGI was excellent because it complemented, like you said, real live suits.
Yeah.
And puppets and animatronics and stuff. And we were saying in the movie theaters after that Stan Winston, man, he's a magician.
Oh, he's the man. He can create anything.
He is the master of balancing the real and then complement
Stan Winston,
by CGI.
We salute you.
We salute you. Showing. No, Stan Winston, man, you are the best. You took what could have been so terrible. Well, let's also give it up for Jon Favreau. For deciding to do it like that.
Directing.
Because you could have gone the easier way and just done more CGI, and you would have got a Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, the trailers are just,
you would have got a fake-looking Iron Man. But, you took the time, you made the suits,
Used them.
And, oh my god, did that Iron Man Mach 3 look great or what? With the golden red and hot rod red? It looked so great.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know the legs, can fire, a weapon.
Oh, every part of them is like a weapon.
Yeah, I know.
I liked being.
That was a little surprised.
I like being constantly surprised by the new gadgets and then having them come back up later.
Yeah.
Like he used the flare more than once. He used the repulsor blasts, like all that stuff.
Yeah, but that was really funny. The flight tests with the extinguisher.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, let's save that. Let's segue into that. The comedy,
the humor. Yeah.
There's always been with Tony Stark, a certain level of comedy, certain level like suaveness and cheekiness, and irony and sarcasm. And, you couldn't get a better person than Robert Downey Jr. to pull that off.
He knocked it out of the park.
And not only him, but just the whole movie was just filled with, like, little quips, like, things that were funny, like, but not so funny that it distracted you.
Oh, no.
They fit in perfectly.
Exactly.
And another thing you couldn't replicate with the script or anything was actor chemistry.
Oh, yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow and Robert Downey Jr. had some excellent chemistry as Tony Stark and Pepper Potts.
Just the character of Pepper Potts, was just really good. It was away from the cliched, female leads in superhero movies.
Yeah, she was like, at one point his attendant / secretary, but, she had devoted so much that it was.
But there was a point.
He was her life, and just like he had kind of found out that she was the major part of his.
I mean, because, there was a point when she said, I quit, but, it wasn't dragged on. It was just like it ended at that scene. You know, like
Well,
yes,
they faced it together. You know, they like
Yeah.
faced the problem, and then she
Yeah.
realized he was right, or that
Yeah.
she agreed with him.
yeah, that was really good.
Great, great acting all around from.
At first, I wasn't convinced with Terrence Howard as Rhodey, but during the plane scene and then when they got drunk,
You know what?
then,
You're right. You're right. When I first heard his
I
voice,
was like, ugh.
it didn't
It was a
sound.
little off.
But it didn't sound like he was the
A little bit more of the tough bodyguard type.
And I'm glad that it wasn't that. You know why?
Yeah.
Because it turned out that it gave him more character, not being the stereotypical black guy. Honestly,
Yeah.
he was actually more of a character.
Yeah.
By the way he was playing him.
Especially when Tony, addressed to the the new pilots, about oh, you remember that time?
Oh
Like,
yeah, there was a lot of good moments between them. They kind of did come off as good friends.
Oh yeah.
So that was great. There was a lot of chemistry between them, and of course Jeff Bridges, the
the
myth, the
dude,
legend.
the Iron Dude.
He is so good at every role he plays,
Yeah.
and just a huge guy in general, man.
Oh yeah,
He's like
he
a
towered
giant.
it. He towered everybody.
He towered above everybody, and it was great because it really fit the character well as Obadiah Stane.
Obadiah Stane.
Oh, great! He was such a good character that way.
Yeah.
He played the perfect villain, man, and he had just enough twist in it to make it unique.
He had some humor of his own. When he was covering Tony's ass at the beginning and the middle.
Right.
To the press and all that.
Mm-hmm. He was like the businessman side of it.
Oh yeah.
He was kind of like the Lex Luthor side of it. Really is what he kind of was. But yeah, excellent roles played by all. Excellent chemistry, even with Robert Downey Jr. and
Favreau
and Jeff Bridges during the fight scene at the end, just going
Oh,
back
yeah.
and forth. There was just every time two characters interacted, there was
No,
chemistry.
that was
And-
those were characters in conflict. I mean, fighting, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, but I mean, like everyone worked so well together. You really can't plan for that. It just sometimes movies click, and this one definitely just clicked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because Monger was like saying, I built this company from nothing, and he was stomping on him.
Yeah, no, the scenes were great. The dialogue was good. Well, moving into the writing, the writing was excellent.
Story wise, even though it wasn't the big reveal, of him being involved with the terrorists, but it was more of him, basically saying to Tony Stark's face, of what the underhanding things that were going on.
Remember how I said to you that the key to suspense isn't keeping it from the viewer?
Exactly. Yes.
It's from when it's finally realized.
When the audience knows and the character doesn't.
Right, and then if it's found out in a meaningful way.
Exactly.
Didn't that make a better impact?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Than just what we already knew.
Stop.
You knew before you went into the movie that was
Yeah.
it. That's why I'm glad they didn't play it up like that.
I liked it.
They didn't play it as if we didn't know Obadiah Stane was the villain.
It wasn't oh man, they just gave
But
it
they
away.
did. I mean, they did it absolutely the way they were supposed to.
Yeah.
The script was great, man. I have no complaints with
yeah.
the script. They adapted everything that needed to be adapted.
The origin story, the developing of the suit.
Right, and then they hinted at everything else, like War Machine and the Mandarin.
With the terrorists of the Ten Rings.
Oh, the Ten. It was an excellent way to fit that in.
Oh,
and with Shield.
And Shield.
Which, all throughout the movie, I admit I had no idea.
But that's also kind of like Marvel acknowledging that even the fan base and probably most general people would not know the full name. So
We got Strategic, Homeland,
God, I can't.
and
remember.
Logistics.
I can't
Something.
remember.
It was such a long name. They're always like joking about it. Now they
But
said
at
they
the
were
end, when he
Shield.
says just call us Shield, I'm like
Yeah.
yes.
And then of course
And then it calls, of course,
the one thing that I regret about the
we
movie
shouldn't have walked out
is
on.
that we left a little too early.
Yeah.
And we missed the little cameo
By Samuel Jackson.
by Samuel L. as
AKA
Nick Fury. But otherwise, that's not a fault of the movie. The movie was great. It's just us, we kind of got out of there because it was so late.
And we didn't know that there was going to be an extra little scene at the end.
Well, no, I mean, we had stayed until, because at the end of the movie there was a lot of CGI logistics of the suit flashing up, and I was like, oh, if they're going to have an extra scene, it's going to be like then. But then when it went to the regular credits, I was like, oh, this must be the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about there being an extra thing at the end.
Yeah, neither did I.
And I probably should have thought
and
about
I just
it.
confirmed when the movie was over. I'm like, oh, I guess the rumors weren't true, but they actually were. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna watch it online as soon as we're done with this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wait. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go see it now because I'm so curious about it.
Well, I mean, comicstofilm.com had a description of what the scene was about.
Well, I don't want to read the scene. I just want to watch it.
Yeah.
Is it a long scene?
No, I think it's a short scene.
Yeah, I would figure it's pretty short. But yeah, this movie set up.